Could be. It's a little more violent.
Very glad.
I don't believe in live stream, but I'll give you my card if you're interested in my media.
Trinity Church, Capital Grill, they cross our legal picket line and they go into the targeted building, that they're hurting all of us as the world and our community. Yeah. To make them think that
So, just real quick, does anybody have any good historical examples?
1999 and Mike check. In 1999 and 2000, greengrocer workers in the Lower East Side were paid $1 an hour. We engaged in a 2-year picket. And they got all their back wages. After May Day. Woo!
Alright, so I have an example. In 1917, suffragettes were fighting for the right to vote. Picketed the White House throughout the entire year. 1,000 women joined them from all across the country. 216 of them were arrested. So right now, we're going to talk about roles. Anybody have any ideas of what some roles are? Oh wait, can I like get some? Yeah. Jail support. So jail support? So anything that would be good for the picketed, like as for picketing.
Chance master.
Alright. So yeah, so chant leader. Mic check. A chant leader would have some chants. To keep the energy high.
A pacer.
Alright, mic check. So poles. So you're picketing in a circle. Ish. You want to have 2 poles. That keep the shape of the picket. That can also greet people. We're coming up to the picket. And also, to greet these people, knew what was up. Alright, go ahead.
I think it's very important that when we are
Is it a roll? Roll the prison. I don't think you have one. Okay, so mic check. Some other roles. The picketers. Picketers, picket. Make noise. Hold signs. Keep holding and hold the line.
Mic check.
Mic check.
So if you want to do communications, it's best if you know how to use Twitter. We'll be using Twitter. If you don't, you can set up your dumb phone. To text to Twitter.
So now we're going to break out into four groups. They'll act as the pickets. I guess we present the targets.
Yeah, right.
The Trinity Church group will meet over there. End of the wall. Mic check. Just a little bit of background on Trinity Church. And why we're taking a picket there. Is because there were 30 protesters. Arrested for trespassing. On December 17th. On Trinity's property. And we are asking that they drop the charges. Many of these protesters are facing jail sentences. So we'll be going to Trinity. To request that they forgive our trespasses. Right over here. Chase. Mic check.
The Chase Bank picket will meet right over here by the barricade. Number one.
That was once the library.
Chase Bank is currently under investigation by the state of New York. For illegal banking practices. It has been estimated by the New York Times 81% Chase Bank foreclosures have been done illegally.
There's a four-through. Capitol Grill. It's not Chase Bank 100%ers.
It's not just for the 1%ers.
Get their overpriced steak. It's also part of a huge restaurant conglomerate where the CEO pays himself $15 million a year. And the average worker makes $15,000. They also have incredibly racist hiring and promotion practices. Will be not in the library. But just before it. Right here.
Mic check. Fourth picket. We're going to be going to the MTA building. At 2 Broadway. On May Day. That's where the Solidarity March is going to end up. With our partners from labor and immigration groups. Today we're going to be protesting. To the fact that the MTA is essentially functioning as an ATM for the 1%. That building was funded giant bond issues from Wall Street. Rather than taxes on the 1%. Transit is a public good. And we're going to go and stand in solidarity with the workers from TWU. And protest austerity. Cuts. And we're going to get ready for May Day down there. And we'll be meeting right over there. We'll be meeting right over there.
How are you?
We need a Capitol Grill.
legal for us
to have a community picket
to have a community picket
in front of these entrances.
in front of these entrances.
As long as we don't obstruct
As long as we don't obstruct
pedestrian traffic,
pedestrian traffic,
and we keep moving in a circle.
and we keep moving in a circle.
Where are the poles?
Where are the poles?
Hand me's a pole.
Here's the pole.
Here's another pole.
Here's another pole.
So, before we get outside over here,
Occupied distribution attack. Police are startled.
all right. So, if we're above the circle, everyone touch the person in front of you if they're okay with that.
because we can't really be secret about what we do.
Busted his head open on the corner of the table and ended up trading it. I don't know why they didn't crack open. I was like, well, this is awkward.
Parce que demain, vous ne verrez pas ça. La brousse. C'est ouvert? C'est pas ouvert.
I'd rather do jail support than that.
See your badges, officer. So nice wearing your badge today.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep moving.
ask before they do this not to be crowded like that. They specifically asked not to be crowded like that.
Corporate greed! Corporate greed! Make corporate in jail! Here comes the MC! Stop and frisk policies of the NYC! Stop and frisk policies of the NYC!
Same reason.
For the same reason!
6 months ago.
6 months ago!
Corporate control
Corporate control
of the government.
of the government!
Stop and frisk.
Stop and frisk!
Bank fraud.
Bank fraud!
Illegal detention.
Illegal detention!
Scout torture.
Child torture!
Student debt.
Student debt!
Healthcare.
Healthcare!
Public education.
Public education!
And erosion of our civil liberties.
Erosion of our civil liberties!
Wall Street
Wall Street
has to overcome
has to overcome
greed
greed
and stop the economic terrorism
and stop the economic terrorism
of the world.
of the world!
Industrial civilization
Industrial civilization
equals
equals
ego collapse.
ego collapse!
And finally, take money out of politics.
Out of politics!
Occupy Wall Street.
Occupy Wall Street!
All day.
All day!
All week.
All week!
Occupy Wall Street.
Occupy Wall Street!
All day.
All week! Occupy Wall Street! All day! 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 All week! Occupy Wall Street! This is not over! I made it! This action does not end! Now! It continues! It's the beginning! Right now! We march! We do jail support! We stay with our friends! It's not over! So now, we march to Liberty Square! Whose court? Whose court? Our court! Whose court? Our court! Whose court? Our court!
actually hit the wall.
Yeah, I know. I know they missed me.
They set up security check with the second ID. Not even let them. They didn't have their ID. They didn't have their ID. People that are supposed to do that.
What went really well today? What did people think was really great, really awesome? So I'll be spinning around in a circle, looking at people so get my attention.
I was on the Capitol Grill picket, and we did have a couple people that were giving out a lot of flyers and talking to people that were watching about May Day and also about why we were sitting in front of Capitol Grill. And Madeline did a really awesome job of giving us all the information and some facts that we needed so that we could spit them out pretty quickly to people that were walking by. So.
Yes, please.
I was on the NPA picket, and I thought it went wonderful. The band came with us. It was like a real blessing. It was really nice to have all those people. And I guess it would be really nice if we could almost break up the band for all the pickets so that we could all share that sort of strength that our one picket had.
Great, thank you.
So I was also on the MTA picket, and I spent about 20 or 30 minutes standing in front of the entrance/exit, the one that we weren't able to cover. So where people were actually coming in and out of, and literally 75% of the people who came in and out took a Mayday trifold and were all about it. Some of us are working on making your guide to the New York City general strike, which will have a map of actions and shit. So we'll be totally able to do the same thing on May Day.
Please. Yes, one or two.
What I noticed that went really well today, even though we did make a lot of noise when we were leaving Zuccotti Park, we did like immediately split off into two separate marches heading to our direction, to our destinations, which made the police have to like change their tactics on the fly and choose where they wanted to follow. And some people did get more police presence than others. And I think using tactics like that in the future will be highly successful in making them like act on the fly and have to change what they're doing instead of being able to plan out all of our moves ahead of us.
Thank you. Please.
Trinity Picket, I thought it went really well because we stayed really focused, and I liked that our chants really targeted the purpose and the mission and the values of that institution, which was like love and compassion and forgiveness, which was tied into what we wanted. And so I felt like having a chant that was connected to our objectives as well as their mission felt like much more powerful.
Yes, here.
Zach, I was also on the Trinity Picket, and I was totally inspired by the creativity of our group and all of the chants that came out of like very organically. That was really exciting, and definitely incorporating like a lot of the deltas that people mentioned. Like we didn't have as much time to prepare, but a lot of that happened organically. So I felt really great about that with our picket, and I think the people, the 24 protesters that are facing jail time due to trespassing on Trinity's property, and we're asking them to drop the charges. And I think we did a lot to raise awareness about that, and hopefully to get those charges dropped between now and their court date on June 11th. So I thought it went really well.
I was part of the MTA picket, and something that I really liked about that picket was towards the end, we started combining our chants and turning them into songs, and we were able to like layer them on top of each other in a really powerful way that like created this really inspiring song, kept people going, kept spirit high.
I apologize for speaking too much, first of all, but I really should have said this during Deltas. But the fact of the matter is, when people get arrested, people should stop like crowding around and looking, because that really holds up the march or whatever we're trying to do, and like separates us, and we can get separated by the police. It gives the police a chance to get in between us. So we should need to like take a second, get their information, you know, send it off to the NLG, but don't like stand around and crowd and chant in front of the police and make a bigger scene than it really is. One person gets arrested, I hope people would not stop and gawk at me if I got arrested, and keep it moving and get to actually what we're trying to do. And that's pretty much it.
We heard that, Delta, but more positive things to happen. Yes.
I was going to quick like a small piggyback on what you just said. It's better for people who are part of the march to keep on moving. It makes it easier for like legal observers and for those with cameras to get closer rather than just passerbys, because they can get close, and that's actually a benefit to those who are being arrested to make sure we can document it, somebody getting hurt. The more we crowd around it, that makes it harder for them to get in there and do their job, and like you said, creates gaps. So we're trying to avoid that.
Okay. No, I mean, yeah, well, let's try to go on that positive thing. We have a lot more things that we want to cover. What else? I have one that I thought is that I was at the not the MTA, I was at Chase Bank, and a bunch of students walked by in this tour, and we changed it to like no work, no school, Tuesday, May 1st, and it was like we were just kind of flexible to, you know, changing what we were talking about when the students went by. And I thought that was really great. But more positive things that people experienced from today. Yeah. And then yeah. So please.
I'm Dawn, and I was on the Trinity picket. There were a lot of cars, and some people actually joined in first as a joke, but they were chanting and saying what we were saying, so I think that changed their mind a little bit. And I think it's good to also, if you're in the picket, to sometimes open up and say, hey, do you want to come in? Some people will just come in like that.
We had planned ahead of time to try to check the facts, and our co just went ahead and did that. And that was really good. If I checked the facts about something, and to mention that
So I went to the MTA and I thought the communication was really good, and I think we utilized the poll folks really, really well. A suggestion on top of that I would just like to put out is like, instead of mic checking what we're going to do next, maybe we can use the polls to like disseminate that information one-on-one as people pass them, and then we're not like shouting our plans. But the point of bringing it up was that we had really good communication.
Great. So there's a lot of things that we learned today. You know, things that went well, things that that didn't go well, and I hope that we can all remember them for Tuesday, May 1st. Did you have one final thing?
Well, I did. I'm sorry, but it's important. I'm curious about for the pickets, like whether your posts work well and whether you can quickly get into your picket line or get out of it. And are there things about that work well for people? I just didn't hear. I felt like at MTA it took us a minute to sort of get figured how to make that work, and so having tall people is good, and that being very physical about having people move. But I don't know, I think we can get better on that, but it gets a little chaotic, so that's all. Post-practice.
Post-practice, yes. Okay, so we're going to shift a little bit and then come back to debriefing the entire spring training. I know many people have been to almost all of them, but Ari's going to do a quick announcement for May Day. Everybody should focus in.
Hey folks, so the pickets today were awesome, as we just heard, and we're going to be having a lot more this Tuesday, May 1st. And in order to have these pickets, we're going to need, similarly to today, people stepping up to take on the various roles. So we have people who are the posts. We have people who are going to be liaisons with the police, people who are going to be liaisons with media, people who are going to be liaisons with passers-by and people who are going to work, people who are going to be doing comms, and chant leaders. And so I have sign-up sheets over here, and I'm going to look for a show of hands of people who are willing on May Day to step up similarly as we all did today and be part of these pickets and help to lead them. Because in order to have 99 pickets, we're going to need a lot of people to step up and take on some responsibility. There's a clarifying question over here.
I just want to know, like, what kind of commitment you're talking about, how much time we're starting at what time, what time story.
So these pickets are going to be beginning at 8 a.m. at Bryant Park and then moving out to different locations. They're going to be going from 8 a.m. until 10 a.m. or until like you decide that you've had enough and you want to come back and enjoy Bryant Square Park. It is up to folks autonomously to decide what they want to do. There's also going to be like a picket spokes council at 11 a.m. to sort of check in and see how everything is going. And then if folks want to, they can go out again. They can choose a different target. They can maybe target banks and slow down banks. And then everyone's going to reconvene again at 1 p.m. and like just report back on all the wonderful things we did.
Also, the Direct Action Group is offering like a specific picket pacer training at 6 p.m. on Monday, the day before May Day. So if you felt like you really liked today, you'd like to get more involved, but you're not quite ready yet to take on a specific role, you can still please sign up and just come to the training at 6 o'clock on Monday.
Where's the training?
The training's here at Zuccotti Park.
Awesome. Okay,
so if folks feel really empowered and feel really like they could do this and really ready to take on a picket responsibility for May Day, then Ari is the person to contact and get your name. Can we maybe see a show of hands of folks who seem like they learned well and they think they could do that? Folks? Okay, all right, take a look around. Okay, and we're gonna, when we finish, everybody should congregate, and so Ari can get your contact information and help you find out how to do this.
I'm actually just gonna step right over here and right over there, maybe that's better in the sun. And I'd really appreciate it if folks would just come over for a second, jot down a little bit of information on the paper, and then I'll follow up with all of y'all. Thanks so much.
I have a sign-up sheet too.
Oh yeah, and Chris will sign up sheet.
Okay, so find those people. Okay, so thank you very much for that little intermission, but now we're going to go back into debriefing. Okay, so before we get into debriefing the entire the spring training, excuse me, I'm going to put Zach or Sandy on the spot to make a little brief talking about what has been happening these past 7 weeks, to remind us all what we're going to be debriefing.
Great. So I'm really kind of relieved to be here right now, just 7 weeks, every Friday. I think it's been beautiful. You know, spring training came out of F29, and after F29, for those of you that were there, shut down the corporations where we met at Bryant Park, and it was after a really long winter. And I think a lot of us got together and just felt like we had lost, you know, developed a lot of like rust and lost a lot of momentum, and we're not as cohesive as a unit moving together. So we developed this weekly program, and we started, you know, gathering here every Friday, and every week we practiced new tactics and new vocabulary, and Monica was amazing to provide us with this tactical vocabulary based on performative street groups, including hub and melt and wall, and this is all like really practical, applicable stuff. It was useful on M17 when we tried to reoccupy this park, and it will definitely be useful on May Day. So just for like moments when we've got huge groups of people that really want to participate in something, and just like institutional memory and knowledge that we can all use to act really powerfully as a unit. So we practiced a number of different tactics. We've done splinter marches. We've done civilians, which has been really useful for arriving at a target that when the police prevent us from getting there as a mass. Our chants are stronger, so I'm really, really pleased with everything that's happened. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about what worked, what could be improved, and in DA and direct action, last week, we consented to follow up with spring training and do the next step, which is going to be summer disobedience school. And it's starting on May 26th, and it's going to be every Saturday at noon. We're starting at Bryant Park, and we're going to gather and really try to outreach to all of New York City. There are 8.5 million New Yorkers. We want to get at least a tenth of that. We want at least, you know, a couple 100,000 people, and to really target sites of injustice. Banks and other, you know, corporations and companies that are, you know, acting irresponsibly and creating this economic crisis that affects us all. So there's that. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. So it's been really great. It's been 7 great weeks, and I want to hear, you know, in the spirit of moving things forward. I always like to start off with deltas and then go into what was really great. Okay, so we're left ourselves with the better feeling and moving forward in a positive way. So I want us to like take a moment and think about these past 7 weeks of meeting here at 2 p.m., running through some sort of practices in the park, and then going out into the streets, and then doing the People's Gong, which folks have been doing. So I want to hear what maybe, you know, especially thinking about this summer, what things could we have changed, what things could we have altered, what are some things that we noticed that we would have liked to see different. I'll be like doing this, kind of like a little dance, turning around so I can notice you. Try to get my attention, please. So I'm looking. Think deltas, things that you would like to see change. Behind me, yes.
Hi. I just want to say I don't really have that many negative things to say. I'm really proud of how far that we've all come as a group. I think that despite the lack of morale I saw over the winter, I think a lot of people are coming out in numbers, and I think just continuing to engage with each other as well as the public is what we really need to do more of. I think there needs to be more outreach. The thing I looked forward the most is the People's Gong. I think the look and the fascination on people's faces when the People's Gong begins is a beautiful thing. And, you know, the dancing that follows, the culminating of the events here, I always feel like our marches need to have an end marker. They need to have a place where we all convene and we all reflect like we do here. I think it's so important because it brings closure to the day, and that's important. I can't stand when a march kind of just disintegrates at the end. You know, I think it's important that we always come back and regrouping always happens. I just want us to always have that in mind when we plan actions, to always have not just a focal point at the beginning and in the middle, but also at the end, to have us all come together again. So I think that's really, it's what I look forward to, and I think these last 7 weeks have been great, and it's so nice to see so many people out, and I think that we just need to continue to grow the numbers and speak to people wherever we are, whether it's the subway, if it's on the street, if it's at the Federal Hall steps. Continue to engage that conversation. It's our best tool in spreading our message.
Exactly, Delta will take it. No, I mean, Delta's not anything negative. It's something that we want to see change. So
more outreach.
We want to see more outreach. So I mean, folks should feel this is a comfortable space. Anything that people want to share is great. I mean, if there was nothing that, if everything was perfect, then we can move on and celebrate. But I'd like to hear some things, please.
At the beginning, we said we were going to do a potluck celebration at the end of every one, and that never materialized. In an ideal world, I would really like us to do that potluck and kind of celebrating and having that warm time with each other at the end.
Yes, please.
On the same note, we also had talked about going to Brink Park and just hanging out in the grass and having a good time. So maybe that's something else we can do, especially in the summer. You can just lay in the grass and be friends and stuff. It'd be great.
That's our tactic. Write that one down. Very dangerous.
Just to expand on more outreach, a lot of my friends, they really don't have time to come to DA meetings. They're not on a listserv. And they really want to come to these things, but they're really not sure, like, where is it, when is it? So maybe more outreach on Twitter, on Facebook, on the website. Because the things are daily, but just update it daily, I guess, about where exactly, when, and all that stuff.
The first time we tried to go civilian, we had complications with communicating. We've done a lot better since then, but hopefully we'll get bigger and people might not know about civilian. So if we can figure out good ways to communicate without having to mic check, like Anthony was saying, would be really good just for the summer marches of breaking up, but not having people losing people.
I think that we should focus as a movement more on New York City. I think that it's really big to say that the WTO is fucked up and that all these banks internationally are really fucked up, but I think it's also really powerful to empower the city around us and really help the outrage. To really see problems that are happening, like gentrification, the systematic ruin of the freedom of and sort of things that are happening to our own city and to the neighbors and people who can really join us, and not just esoteric problems that are happening to the world at large.
Yes, one more thing into the future.
I'd like to add to that we kind of bounced around to a couple of different protests, and the one that was at the Trinity Church seemed to have the most female presence, and it was also the most loving and the most just in the pattern to the march. It was very, very peaceful and joyful. I think that strong female presence is a big part of it.
Maybe one thing that I'd like to see change is I'd like to maybe hopefully see less people blowing cigarettes in my direction. I'd appreciate that, thank you. So moving on, those are things that we kind of like to see change. What are things that we thought were really, really great about spring training these past 7 weeks? Things that we want to continue on into the future. Things that we're really excited about. Please start us off. And before you do, if folks want to get tighter, we lost a couple people. If folks want to try to get a little bit tighter so we don't have to yell so much, we can hear each other, that'd be great. Thank you. Please.
Well, I think that the nature of what we're doing is generally serious and intense, and one of the incredible things that happened with spring training is that we introduced humor and fun. And I think a lot of people think that you can hide those things and still make a serious point. And I think that every piece, I think, and we're building on that. I think we have person sort of in an area close by me, and he yelled a direct remark at one of the police officers or something, negative against them. And I saw several people immediately quiet him down and say no and get him back to chanting what we were chanting altogether. And it seems like that's something that can quickly break up a peaceful protest and have it be about protesting to the cops and not to everyone, is what you're saying.
More things we really love about these things.
No matter who was being arrested, no matter how many barricades there were, how many tourists were in the way, we did the People's Gong every time at 4 p.m. 7 weeks in a row without fail. And that consistency and that unification proves a lot of our strength and our unity and solidarity, and that's great.
Okay, yes, please.
I thought it was really exciting to see that the tactics also spread to different marches last week. A couple days ago during the ACT UP march, we were barricaded, we couldn't get into Wall Street, and then there were Occupy people going around and saying like, spread civilian, and people did, and we got into Wall Street. And I think that's really exciting to see that it's so successful that people are using the tactics everywhere.
I like that we learned to break up into smaller marches and hit go back to the main target and use different kinds of fun games like capture the flag as a really good thing, and I hope that we can continue to figure out how to break up and meet back so we don't get too big and get stopped by the state.
I'd like to hear a couple more things.
I like the concept of only a few people in each small march knowing where everybody is going to reconvene. It helps us for obvious reasons until that information isn't shared until the last minute. Involved in the action, and then everyone going beforehand, it gives us a tactical advantage.
I just want to ask, how many people were at the first spring training march? So, if you guys remember, a couple weeks leading up to that, the police had taken all of the barricades out of the Wall Street area. And that was when I first saw that, that was hurtful to me. It was we were no longer challenging or a threat to them. And so there are photos of the first People's Gong, and we were right in front of the exchange in the middle of the street. We took the street the entire way, and they didn't even know because they hadn't seen us in so long. We did push-ups and jumping jacks on Wall Street. It was amazing. And in the last 7 weeks, we've brought an incredible amount of attention back to Wall Street and back to the stock exchange. And I think the People's Gong and the sidewalk occupation and the freedom page on the Federal Hall steps, and we're just bringing the heat back to them in anticipation of May Day. So they've expended an incredible amount of resources, and it's frustrating to get there and to see all the police and the barricades. It's intimidating, there's a lot of tension, but I think that was one of the most amazing things we did with spring training, is just all taking the attention and focus back to Wall Street. So I think that's
Okay, that's really great. So, let's keep in mind all of these as we continue to plan our future events and future actions. Thanks everybody. We have just 2 more little points on our agenda before we close. First, I'd like to give Julian the floor to talk about some outreach possibilities.
Yeah, what's on Tuesday? Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Okay, this is the last weekend to do outreach before May Day. We got hella newspapers, hella flyers.
Yes.
So please, we want to send out some street teams as we disperse. So after the meeting, please come by, grab some newspapers, grab some flyers.
Where will you be?
Just right here. So please, everybody take some home. It's fun to go with a friend. Hand them out on the subway, hand them out at the subway stop. Marissa, do you got more to add?
Yeah, we have some handbills, quarter sheets, so if you want to hand those out too, we've got plenty of outreach material, so yeah, come get them.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much.
Justin, if you want to be a part of planning actions, direct actions, you can come Tuesday, 5:30 to 7:30. Not this Tuesday, but where do we meet?
There's a Monday.
Okay. not finished yet. Let's just continue. We're almost done.
And Sundays you need your assist. Lastly, if you want to help plan summer disobedience school, email summerdisobedience@gmail.com and we'll send out some updates.
Okay, two things. One is that if folks are cold, there's hand warmers and space blankets in front of the Federal Exchange. It's going to get really cold tonight. But I want us all to do something together and unified for a closing. So I want everybody to stand up. Let's everybody go. All the chant leaders from all the things, I want you to come to the center now. If you were a chant leader and you're speaking together today, please come to the center. If you remember the chants from your please come to the center anyway. Who else wants to join Trinity? I'm going to go like you as a chant leader. Okay. So we have one chant leader. We have two chant leaders. We're going to all close and chant from the pickets. So first, we're going to go with our Trinity chant first. So we're going to lead a chant and we're going to go to the next one. So please.
Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, freedom's what they love the most.
Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, freedom's what they love the most. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, freedom's what they love the most. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, freedom's what they love the most. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Now we're going to hear from Chase Bank.
Hey, what do you say? Close your Chase account today.
Hey, what do you say? Close your Chase account today. Hey, what do you say? Close your Chase account today. Hey, what do you say? Close your Chase account today. Hey, what do you say? Close your Chase account today.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you all for a wonderful spring. Y'all have been great. Thank you.
Hi, check.
Hi, check.
Hi, check.
Hi, check.
If you haven't signed up to be part of a picket yet,
Be part of a picket yet?
please